Kirk got me heated, man.
I dropped 2 on people. And
I need to get up a level 2, man.
Scooter Report.
Be able to put my leg up.
Home Fly Gang. Episode 3. Scooter Report podcast. We got Russell. We got Alex.
What's up?
We got the guy that never shows up.
Fuck you.
Curtis. Hey, bro. There's children to watch this.
You finally made
26-year-old
the podcast,
children.
Hey, we're still missing Ben Davis, though.
I know. He's weak. He's on his way, but he's weak. Maybe he'll show up halfway through.
Yeah.
And we'll just let him sit
Maybe.
here. We got Jake.
You can sit with the
We got
dog.
Jake the dog.
Jake the
Killing
dog.
it. He's probably
Shameless
not
plug,
in cam
shameless
unless...
plug.
Jacob, come here. Come here. Jake. Yeah. Yeah. Get him on the couch, though.
No. No.
All right. So, big news. Broly's a big boy.
Broly's a very big boy.
Broly's a savage.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
Fans love Broly.
I love Broly. So Broly's had good support, but never like as his own actual
His own archetype.
to be good enough. And they definitely went above and beyond.
You saying his archetype of I kill myself, I kill my own cards, and I do minimum to you isn't good?
Definitely not.
No.
Pass shout out to Ben. Broly strong.
That's why we need him here.
Hey, Ben did play Broly at the very first states, and I think he went the first 3 or 4 rounds without ever seeing Broly's ring.
Yeah, that's correct. I feel the pain,
Then
dude.
he quit that deck
Fire, dude.
right after.
Fire.
But yeah, that leader. So what is? Do you have it up? You got them stats? I know
new
it's
one?
like
Hold
kill
on,
yourself
dude.
immediately
Hold on.
first turn down to 4. That's like the whole idea.
But that leader's so good. Draw
It's
6.
pretty crazy.
Draw.
I think this leader's interesting. Do you think it's going to be... Do you think it's fair, or do you think it's too good?
I think it's
I think it's fair.
fair if you can survive against it, because then it kills itself.
It's not optional, right? To draw. It's
it's up to 6.
Is it?
Until you have 6? Yeah, it's
it's
mandatory.
It's draw until you have 6 cards.
Yeah. So I mean,
So if you have 7 in your drop, I mean, you could overwhelm and then attack
Yeah,
and not have to draw.
it's true.
I'm just saying you can potentially never attack with your leader or
Yeah, you don't
deck
have to.
yourself out. Or
I think it's interesting though, because I think that this leader, like the draw 6, I think. What are you doing, dude?
I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay, just
Come
from
on,
this.
bro. I thought you were playing games or some shit, dude. Like, damn, the addiction is
Pulling
strong.
them up, man. Fuck.
No, I think that this leader wants to promote a more aggressive strategy, like
Yeah.
the drawing 6, because he, like this deck in general, blows through a lot of cards. So if you're trying to go later on in the game, like you can't really, because you kind of have to kill your opponent quick, or you just like deck out. But it's also interesting because you can't have more than 2 battle cards out on the field.
Yeah, you can never swarm
So
out.
it's weird because he's kind of like in this weird place where I feel like he wants to go aggressive, but he can't really just go like full aggressive.
Just drop big boys.
So
I'm going full aggressive, dude.
It's interesting.
Full aggro.
I kind of think that most people won't be using it to draw 6 cards per se.
I'm doing it every turn.
Just the way they designed him
I'm playing
makes it
only
seem
5Ks. I'm drawing 6 cards.
Yeah, but the fact that
every
you
turn.
can't like flood the board or anything makes it seem like they
They
designed this leader to like solely focus on the Broly archetype. So you have to play like the 7 drop and like that full
Yeah,
package.
it's like a chain deck.
Yeah, because it's definitely like glass cannon. You know, you can get the 7 drop out turn 2, backed up by Bloodless, which is like insanely good if you get it out. But if your opponent's outs like your board, then I feel like you're in a very bad place with this lead.
I feel like it's pretty dope
Yeah.
that there's a green leader that can play Bloodlust now.
So good.
That is good. I like that.
They need one of each. Like instead of printing more cards that do what Bloodlust does, just print more colored leaders
That use it.
that you can use Bloodlust.
So for any of our viewers that don't know, I don't know the exact names of the cards. I'm
For any of the
trying to
readers
look through them.
that can't read.
But for the new Brawly support, there's a field spell that costs 1 that says you put it at the bottom of your deck, and then I believe you either KO or you put one of your Brawly cards or battle cards at the bottom of your deck, and then you draw a card. So you either play that turn 1, or you play the 1-drop Brawly turn 1, which you can search out by your leader ability on his front side. The front side allows you to search your deck for a 1-drop Brawly, add it to your hand, and then negate that skill for the rest of the game. So you instantly get to start with the 1-drop Brawly in your hand. So turn 1, you can play that, take 2 life. Turn 2, you charge a yellow energy. So now you have a green and a yellow energy. you tap for the field spell, activate its ability, put the Brawly on the bottom, take the extra 2 life. Now you're at 4 life. And then when the 1-drop also leaves the battlefield, you get to summon the 4-drop from your hand. So you summon 4-drop Brawly, awaken, untap the green, use its ability, KO your 4-drop. And then when the 4-drop gets KO'd, it gets the 7-drop from your hand. So then you summon the 7-drop. And then you have that yellow energy for the Bloodlust left open.
I'm having storm flashbacks. Like, can I have a turn, dude? Right. Can I play? Please?
So it was pretty cool. Like, you had to summon him turn 1. He's a crit. He takes the card from your opponent on your turn and their turn. And then if you just have the Bloodlust, you get to protect it. And then he's like, what, 30k crit?
Yeah.
Yep. Huge.
So it's like you just get to come out swinging.
It's just buff as fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's good, but it's definitely very glass cannon.
Yeah, Brawly's weak.
But what are your guys' thoughts on it? Like, do you think that this archetype is viable? Do you think it's going to have a place in the meta?
Yeah, of course it is.
I think those cards are incredibly strong. They're coming out. I mean,
why would they not make, like, every starter leader is pretty filthy except for like yellow and green, who were kind of garbage.
SS4.
Yeah.
And green gets a generic Hoi as a super combo.
Yep.
Hella good.
So,
Yeah, that was the card that I
Hella
now
good.
remember.
Android's gonna, well,
Go hang-
you might go
oh.
2-2 on the split, but still savage.
Just look at all your cards. So good.
You think of that, dude? You're a green player. You
I
that
like
super
green.
combo?
I don't know what super combo you guys are talking about.
So basically,
Damn,
there's a
no
new super
research
combo
gang,
in the
dude.
starter deck that does what Hoi does for Harugarn. So you get to discard card draw 2.
Yeah.
Oh, lit.
And it's,
I like that.
yeah. And it's generic. It works
let
with
me-
any green leader.
We'll keep you here for the organic
dude.
reactions.
Yeah, it's insane.
And
That's good for sparking
That
and-
negates filthy
Yeah,
too.
it's really good.
Can't remember what it does, but it's good.
For people who don't know, this is also Kurt, who didn't read any of set 5 until we were already at Nationals.
Yeah, we got text messages in the middle of the tournament. He's like, "Damn, these cards are good."
I finally read the cards.
Good team player, dude.
Yeah, I'm
We've only been testing for like 2 months.
Right.
Yeah, life is busy, man.
Don't
Off
lie to
season
me.
when you're
Don't
not
lie to
going.
me.
Got nothing else to say, man.
That's my reaction from the last podcast. He did the same thing to me last time. It's okay.
Blow you up, dude.
That's cool.
Call you out.
That's
What do you guys think of the 2-drop SR, the Chila?
What's
I
that?
don't
Read
know
it off.
if
I don't know
I'm
what that
pronouncing
is.
that right. Chila?
Chili Achilles?
Yeah, so it's like once per turn, anytime your opponent's battle cards KO, they discard a card.
I think it's good. Just adds on to the
not?
Analyza and all that kind of
What
stuff.
is it? One turn you what?
No.
Once per turn, if your opponent's battle card is KO'd, they discard a card.
Oh, that's pretty
Or
good.
it's if you KO
And
one
it's
of their
green,
cards.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
I'm
it's
playing that
green.
in
And
my
it-
Shenron deck, dude.
I'm saying it triggers if you use revenge and all that kind of stuff on
Yeah.
their turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
It's filthy.
you play against a weak deck and you have the Android 16 out there.
And it goes right with that Brawly package.
And the new Lemo from the starter deck is also a 2-drop. And for 1 green energy, you get to choose a card from your hand, place it in your drop area, and then you can special summon her from the deck.
Don't think
Yeah.
special summons a term in this game.
actually-
Sorry.
It's actually like
Summon.
it's actually kind of crazy how good hand destruction is going to be.
Yeah,
Like it's
kinda-
already really good.
I'm kind of tired of it, to be honest. So
Yeah, you just like having a fat hand and
But it's also interesting because with this leader too, like it kind of mitigates hand destruction. But then your strategy is also to
hand destruction.
destroy their hand. So the mirror is going to be very
Well, the
Weird.
mirror is all
very
about.
dumb.
It's just about wiping your opponent's hand and forcing them to draw 6
Yeah.
cards and deck
Well,
your
because if you
opponent
can
out.
get the net draw, if you can get the big boy out, protect
Yeah.
him, and then it's just kind of like big crit beat down at that point.
Yep.
And if you can back it up by like getting the Chila out, then you're just like slowly dwindling their hand instead of all at once. So
not bad.
It's kind of interesting. All that stuff's interesting. It'll change the way people play because like cell chain and all that kind of stuff just instantly isn't as good. Just wipe their hand
Big
down.
Brawly does still lose to Super 17 chain because you
Always.
cannot Bloodlust my 4-drop.
Everyone loses to the Super 17.
That's true.
Not everyone.
Scoop them up. I
Kurt-
still can't
Kurt didn't
believe
lose.
if people still think
not
that
me,
Android
man.
17 lead is better than Super 17. I'm done with
Everybody
you.
does, dude.
Don't
It's
talk
okay.
to me.
It's okay.
Yeah, blocked. You're blocked. Facebook blocked.
That leader is like so much better than Android 17 lead. It's not It's not even a conversation.
People just don't see it. It's different
It's
play
not a
style.
conversation.
It depends on the deck.
No, you just don't know how to play the lead
if
if you think that Android 17 is better than Super 17.
depends
Hands
on
down.
your deck, dude.
No.
If you're
This is
not
bad.
playing the 17 line, you play Cell Chain, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on deck, dude. I can build my deck completely
Yeah.
different and don't even.
Then
use
it's not the
half
same
that
deck.
stuff.
Then it's not the Super
It's not
17
the same
deck.
deck. Oh, if you were taking the same exact deck, just switching out leaders, obviously Super 17.
What he's saying is playing the Super 17 line in Androids. That's what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
Then you need to play the Super 17 lead with it.
Yeah, definitely. You need to mill your own freaking deck.
Yeah, dude.
Except for when you play Jamimba, because that shit's gay.
It's literally an auto win.
It's your best matchup.
when you never played the deck before.
Unless your name is Kurt.
It was amazing.
Let me mill myself. Oh, he's
sat
gonna
down,
mill
he
me.
goes, what does that leader do? He's like, I don't know. And then he proceeds to mill every time he attacks. I'm just like, okay, I'll just never awaken you, dude. Sick.
But I learned. I will
did.
never do that again.
It only takes once. All right.
All right.
What's next? Frieza cards? Red?
Ooh, cold
The Ginyu-
bloodlust can be
Ginyu Force?
used with the red.
New
lit.
veggies. New veggies.
Yeah. It is
So what do you guys think? Do you
Kinda.
think that we're ever going to get like a bloodlust type effect for other colors? Or are they just going to do what they're doing now and put Frieza Army on
I
different
think
color
they're going to
leaders?
keep doing what they're
You
doing
think that's a good
now.
answer though?
I think that's a
I
good
think
answer.
it's cool. It makes for interesting deck builds. Although
I mean, I think
does
it's better
suck.
than nothing
Well,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think decks that force you to not play monocolor
Yeah.
make the game better because it makes deck building more complicated.
That kind of seems like yellow right now. It seems like they
Yeah.
just want you to splash in a little bit of yellow. In
So
every
you
deck.
like
Yeah.
keeping that specific play style with the color and just making people have
I
you
wish they
splash
would
it?
sprinkle in a few that are interesting.
I mean,
Like, I wish there was some energy manipulation in other colors, just a little bit.
I mean, Crusher Ball should be in every color. I think because it's something
What if
to
there
play
were
around.
like cards that like, if there was like generic colored, like if you had like a red battle card that says as long as this card is face up on the field, or I guess not face up, just on the field, your opponent, your leader gains like a trait.
That'd be cool.
like critical or something.
No, like
I know, like
Frieza's army.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be cool because
Yeah.
you can splash that shit in.
There should be there should be a field card like that.
If there were cards like that, and if we had ways to get
interesting.
rid of
Yeah,
field
get rid
cards,
of it.
But
There
I
needs
do
to
like
be
that the
field
new
card
field spell
destruction.
gets rid of itself, so it doesn't just stay out there and you can
Yeah.
keep using it.
What
That's nice.
pull up the wording on that new Frieza card, the Bloodlust one.
The leader?
No,
no, the
the
fight drop?
yeah, the creature.
All right,
Oh,
let me
the
find
it hurts guy.
Does it have restrictions or is it just it works? I just can't remember.
It's red, right? Mm-hmm. I don't
fight
think
drop?
it. I don't think it has restrictions, but I don't remember seeing like brackets in that.
Yeah, so I think that card's super good.
Pretty cool.
Gets around deflect.
Find it. I thought it was red.
It is red.
I thought it was
I
yellow.
don't think they. I think it's only been shown in promo videos. It isn't actually in their list
Oh,
yet.
so
Yeah,
it's on the
it's
list.
not on here yet.
So yeah, trust us. We know.
the dog even says it's on a different
Okay.
list.
So
What do you think of the new Ginyu support?
I like it.
I think it's weak that it doesn't really work with yellow. It can't trigger itself off yellow.
yeah,
Also
I also
triggered off
think
the
it's-
Ginyu leader though. Right?
True, but
yeah.
it doesn't trigger like it probably would be way too broken if it could. Like it'd just be like, oh, 12 cards in my deck. Here we go.
But that's so
Captain
you have you can't use the Jace with the new lead with the Ginyu leader, but you can still use the new Raccoon, Birder, and Goldo. So I mean that's still 12 cards that you get to use.
Hold on. Jake.
Chill out, Jake.
no,
'cause-
just bite them,
yeah.
bite them,
Yeah.
tear them apart.
Jake's trying
Intruder,
to kill
intruder.
Jake's trying to kill Ben right now.
Korean revenge.
The what? The Korean revenge, dude? What does that mean? We might have to tell him to cut that one out, dude.
I made
Jake.
a joke.
Ben is Korean, so it wasn't us.
Hold on. Jake, come here,
come
buddy.
here. Come on, be nice.
It's all right.
You
He's
gotta
good.
give him jerky for him to like you.
Yeah. So okay, so we cut all
I
that.
wouldn't like you that you walk in here hella creepy, hella
So
silent.
okay, how are you gonna introduce him right now?
By the way, now
Just come sit down, dude. Just come sit in this corner.
And I was like, I just walked into the wrong house because there's like people I don't know.
Are you gonna snap your fingers and he like appears?
We could.
I was like an intruder.
We don't have another mic, but
Or
That's
could
so
just-
we
funny.
all make the sign, right?
and then Ben
Like
just
right next to you, and then all of a sudden
What
we
is the
like
sign?
we move our hands, we move our fingers, and then like Ben appears.
I mean, Ben can just come sit down and we can pass the mic back and forth. Just get in here, Ben.
Right there.
Just get in here. Just come sit in that
Am I
corner.
doing the S right?
No,
Or is it this
we
way?
need the whole team,
Other
dude.
way.
It is this
Other
way.
Get in here. This is the worst.
So you have to do it
episode
to where when
ever.
you're looking at it, it doesn't look like the S. Because obviously when your opponent
Find
when
a
they're
place
looking
to
at
sit.
it will look like an S.
S class.
This is the worst, bro. Jake is gonna kill you, dude.
You want me to, like,
Yeah,
I
just
can
hop in that
squeeze-
corner,
I'll
dude.
just squeeze in that corner.
Hop in that corner, and someone can pass you the mic if you want to say something.
That's true.
Just throw the sign
Let me
up.
bite you, junk.
This is Ben. He's our half Asian,
Persuasion.
second half Asian. We have
One of
one.
those legs.
We have one whole Asian on our team
We
because we
do.
have two
Together,
half
me and
Asians.
Ben make a full Asian.
Whole Asian.
We're team
Yeah.
one whole Asian.
5 minutes Asian.
Wait, you gonna call me two men, dude? That's fucked up.
Well, 5 dudes.
That's true. That's true. I thought you meant. I thought you counted as one Asian word.
Our ratios still match up though, because all together we're
5 dudes.
still 5
Yeah.
dudes.
It's gonna not
White
gonna have
dudes.
any
We
talking,
do
it's
need a
just gonna-
6th dude though. Someone apply. Someone
responding
apply to
numbers,
us. Someone
dude.
send us a message. Be like, I'm the shit and I want to join your team, and we'll get you on the team, and you'll get nothing out of it. But
Except you'll get to be a part of
That's a lot of promises
the
right
most
there.
fun team in DBS.
true. Yeah. Anyways,
You get to be put on camera with John Bradley, the greatest producer in DBS history.
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 History. All right, we're talking about Frieza cards.
Yeah, the
So
red.
you guys, someone's gonna have to pass Ben a mic when he puts his hand out. I don't
Yeah.
know who it is.
What'd you
But-
guys talk about so far?
So we just
Broly.
got done talking about Brawly.
Okay.
Now we're talking about Frieza support.
And now we're
That
talking
red
about Frieza
shit.
support.
Okay.
Thoughts?
That's a boring topic.
Okay. Next.
He doesn't like that topic.
Yeah.
I think that all the extra cards in that, the red extra
dope.
cards are lit.
Bro, if
Lit.
that thing, what is it called? Psychic
Telekinesis or something like that.
telekinesis thing.
Is that red? Is that just red
Yeah.
leader, right?
If
No.
it wasn't, it
No, it
requires your
requires
leader to
Frieza
be
something.
Fred or Frieza Army.
Frieda's army.
Frida?
Frieza's Army.
Frieza's Army.
If it was just red, dude, best negate ever, dude.
Broken, but it's not. So
No.
Jake,
All
we're
right,
bombing the
Storm.
phone podcast. Okay.
I'm glad
dead
Storm's
or,
about
dead
to
or
die.
not? I don't think it's dead.
I'm
What?
about to run that.
I don't think it's
that
dead,
blue
dude.
card, dude.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What's not dead?
Storm. Dead
Storm?
or alive? After this card's come out, that blue
alive.
Goku with the coat.
Son Goku,
I don't know
starving
about-
to be the best. Yep, playing in all.
Son Goku starving to be the best. You've heard it here. It's the hottest card. He's starving himself to be the best.
Whatever. It
Won't
doesn't.
be an episode without Curtis.
I think it's interesting because so the Borgos, we've already seen we're getting the yellow version. Is it Whis?
Yeah.
Whis is the
So
yellow
we'll
version.
probably
So we're
get-
probably going to get one every color.
Although they showed all the red cards,
No,
and
I
they didn't have
doubt it.
one. So
I mean, eventually we probably
No,
will.
probably
Yeah.
to be yellow and blue because blue is the energy manipulation and yellow is counter.
Okay, which is fine. So we
So,
get two
right.
colors, and I think this card was the perfect.
You think it's the answer?
I think it was I like it better than the 2-drop. That's just a plain silver bullet. I get it out. Storm, you can't beat me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I think this card. I mean, and this card's really good because it's only cost 1, so you're gonna get to play it. The 2-drop. If you go first against Storm and you have the 2-drop, you just win. If you go second,
Yeah.
then you're not gonna get a chance to play it.
Yep.
But you play this guy, and then instantly now they're in a tough position because all their beans, all their Anildines, losing the game.
I'm Shigeshing him out.
What Storm yellow leader are you playing, dude?
I don't even
Oh,
know
no,
yet.
no,
I'm
you're-
talking
you're
about the
playing
blue
against
guy.
Saying yellow versus
Oh, okay, yeah.
Storm.
Defense
What
drop
yellow leader are you
yeah.
playing, dude?
Oh, you're swinging two
playing
drops,
that-
2-drop.
He's
Oh, and
saying
then
the spice
boom.
on the podcast.
I mean, you can play
Yeah.
yellow
Yeah.
leader, but if you're gonna silver bullet me, I'm just gonna play Chrono against you.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
a
game
silver
2.
bullet, you're
Game
silver
2.
bullet.
Game 2. I'm switching up.
You're playing the
I'm
main.
countering the counter.
Fuck
The
it.
counter. I'm coming at you.
Hate you guys.
We're actually talking about this card right now.
Yes.
Yeah,
You got it.
I don't like it. So I'll just say I love this card. I'm like, is nobody gonna say that they don't? I don't like the barrier.
I don't. I think the barrier is. I think the barrier is stupid. 100%.
If you take out barrier, I like the card.
Does it have deflect
So
too?
the real question is,
No.
does
Okay.
Ben like barrier ever?
That's a good point. I always hate barrier, but I particularly hate barrier with this card. I mean, it just makes the counterplay so much more difficult. You're gonna have to.
It does. It 100%
Yeah.
does.
You're gonna have to attack in active mode or chain zone
Yeah.
or
Which is
something
why
that-
I think Borgos and Whis were perfectly designed.
Yeah.
Because they. I mean,
You
they
can deal
crap.
with
They
them, but
crap
they
on
lock-
Storm.
yeah.
They pretty much say if you don't have an answer to me, you lose. But you can answer me because I can just be popped.
Yeah, but it slows you
You
down
know?
a turn or two.
But it does it slow. It makes
But-
them dedicate stuff so that they can't just solitaire.
Any
their
cards
hand.
any cards that create interaction and how can I beat
Yeah.
you and how can we play against each
Yeah.
other is always good for the game.
Like
Barrier,
if that 2-drop didn't have barrier, again, it'd be perfectly designed.
Perfect. Like, because they would have to, it would slow them down. They'd have to remove it, but with this, like it's so difficult, and the cards that attack in active mode are higher drop cards. And it's just like you're not gonna get rid of that card. If they get it out, it's GG.
I think this also brings up the conversation. I know a lot of people talk about like not liking erratas and saying like, hey, you should have just like tested this out and figured it out before you put it out. Which in a perfect world, test it, find out it shouldn't need barrier. But I've always never been opposed to like erratas. Like if there's just such a quick fix to like make something better, like why not just do it? Why not just be like, okay, hey, this card doesn't have barrier anymore?
I mean, they did that with Triple Flash right before Shenron Triple Flash was a thing.
Sort of.
They kind of
They just changed up the wording.
I mean, you could just do the same thing. Just say
like, why not?
Take out the barrier.
I know people don't like it, and they're like, hey, new players will like play in a tournament. I mean, we've all been new players, and like, yeah, you go to one tournament, you make a mistake, you don't make that mistake again.
It's that easy.
Yeah, it's such a quick fix that makes the game that much better.
Yep. Yeah. I have no problem with it unless it's something a big crazy errata or something like that. But yeah.
I have a problem with that shit.
Oh, now you have a problem.
The whole problem with the erratas is now I have to remember every single card that's been changed. That's my biggest beef with that. So I think we should just silver bullet everything that's got.
It's not hard though. Coming from a Yu-Gi-Oh player, cards got errated all the time back in the day. All the time back in the day.
Everybody that plays this is from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, but learn. You have a brain. Memorize.
I have a brain. Yeah, I'm not trying to memorize every single card that's been changed, or bring my phone around in the middle of a match. Oh, hold on, let me double check to make sure that you're saying that right. Like it just errating too many cards is too.
Okay, let's just ban them and reprint.
I don't like the band either.
I kind of like the ban and reprint.
Ban reprint.
Yeah.
Oh well, cool. I spent $20 on this card and then it gets banned.
But that's why you be careful about it.
They better. Nah, man. I'm gonna ship my card back to them. And there should be some new product.
No, it's not. you are coming from a game of Yu-Gi-Oh where cards go from $100 to banned to nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens. That was your guys' life. I didn't get into that life.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
I mean, it just happens. It's a part of
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is 100, 0 to 100, then 100 to 0.
Yep.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for all that.
I don't wear Yeezys, so
it's fine.
I can't.
That's why you guys don't play
Easy
Yu-Gi-Oh
Club
anymore. Yeah. And you're over here in the Dragon Ball scene.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't mind erratas. I think erratas are good.
We better than that.
I would rather see erratas than bans.
If an errata was to make the game better, why not?
I just want the game to be more healthy. That's it. And whatever answer that is to make it more healthy, go
more
with that.
silver bullets is what they're saying. So
I like silver bullets. So
I like them situationally. Like Chrono wasn't terrible, but
anything that makes
I don't like the ones that ban it for the whole game. I like ones that if it's on the field, it does something. If it goes away, it stops doing that thing.
When you restrict future card design for the entire life of the game, you're only 1 year into the game and basically said you cannot use this mechanic anymore.
But at the same time, all they have to do is like, okay, Shigesh isn't really that broken anymore because everything else is good. Ban Corona.
That was my idea.
Ban the common card that is the silver bullet. So it's kind of you could do it either way.
But I wish they would just say that then.
See the ban thing with cheap cards or common cards. That's cool with me because this
whole game is cheap.
I have so many of all those common cards. I'm talking about like an SR or something. Or
ban Bardock. I'm cool.
Yeah,
get rid of it. Kill it.
Bye Bardock.
The swap thing is dumb, but thank you to this new card.
Starving Goku.
Starving Goku. And now I don't have to sit here.
Just like emaciated on the photo.
Red has swap now. I remember that now.
It's good.
It does. Yeah.
But it's not that good of a swap.
I'm just saying it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. Yeah.
I don't like silver bullets. Maybe I'm just like contrarian, but who was I talking to? Was I talking to you? I was talking to somebody yesterday, and like my fear is that you have so many silver bullets that it's just going to force people into the deck that doesn't have the silver bullet for the most part. And so then everyone just plays that same deck again. And then you end up with, kind of a monotone meta, which to me is incredibly boring. I was always against SS3. I was so happy when it was gone. It proved everyone
it was
right.
Fun. Made the game fun again.
It made the game fun again. And so, I mean, even before then, like, I feel like Ginyu Veggies, Mecha Frieza, there were just so many phases. And I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And, I don't know the history behind other TCGs. But for me, like, the game is the funnest it's been. And the more silver bullets there are, the more it's going to force people and coerce them into playing a certain type of deck. And granted, this is an evolutionary thing. If you have enough silver bullets, then there's not enough to have them in your side deck and so on and so forth. Then you have to start making special decisions.
See, I agree
and then
as long as there's
back.
Answers.
Yeah, and
as
so
long
then
as there's answers.
So then decks can start coming back.
I'm not liking how many silver bullets they're doing. Like if it was a few that took Terra like really bad things, but it's literally like now there's potentially like 8 different silver bullets. I want to put 4 of in my deck, and now
I just don't want to go to an event where you go and you play against a duck and you auto lose because they have the silver
I
bullet.
agree.
I agree.
I'd rather
But-
be able to play against somebody and have them have
silver
good
bullet
cards
for the
against
silver
you.
bullet, dude.
I agree. I think silver bullets that you can't, if you just can't interact with the card, that's terrible. That's terrible design. I don't like it. But if cards like Chronoa and the Starving Goku, if there was a way to like turn it off by yourself, then it's fine. Then it's healthy. At that point, then it doesn't do any damage.
All these are doing is just making sure these decks aren't running rampant. That's it.
Yes, but you should be able to answer it. You
just,
shouldn't be able to have a card and play it and be like, you can't do what
It's
your
not
deck
like-
intended to do
it's-
anymore.
You can still get rid of this.
Forever.
No, you
How?
can't get rid of that.
What's the
it's
point of
just
playing
really
to get
hard.
rid of that?
You're gonna
I have
lose the
to
game if
attack
you-
with
So,
it.
well, they want to kill Storm first of all. They
I'm
want
glad
that dead.
kill Storm. It's so boring sitting there and watching your opponent play for
I
15
get it, but
minutes.
don't completely kill. What's the point then? There's no difference of
You have
banning
to
the
run
deck
this
then.
card. You have to run this card. There's too many silver bullets, so you literally have to predict.
But you're going to tell me.
You have to predict the meta.
Hold up.
before you go in.
You're going to sit here and tell me that card would not be better without barrier.
Better design.
Better designed.
Better designed.
Better designed.
It probably would be better than for Storm players.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
Storm players, but I ain't no damn Storm player, so I'm good with it. I love barrier.
When his
I'm a barrier
deck
player.
is silver bullet, he's gonna fucking
I hate
cry.
Storm too. I never
What
played
you mean?
Storm.
My deck that
I
I've
literally
been
won
playing.
Portland because I played the deck that beat Storm, but I still don't like that card design.
You can't. To me, killing off Storm is a bad move. Making it slower is the best move.
Yeah, like
because
the
if you
one
kill it
drops.
off, then you have no counterpoint to every other deck. All these decks, like the Shenrons that want to get into turn 4 or 5 and then drop some big bombs, you have no answer to that.
They already put out that card that stops you from ramping. So
That's not enough. Do a Dende?
yeah, Dende.
Dende's not enough. 3 energy to use it is not
could-
enough.
Dude, Kirk got me heated,
I
man.
dropped 2 on people.
I need to get up a level too, man. Get over, dude.
Oh my god, guys!
That's what I do.
I need to be looking down on you when I talk to you.
Jesus.
Damn, still salty about that loss.
Dude, where were you at Columbus?
I was flying in. My plane got delayed.
Yeah, no.
For like what? 3 months? For a whole month? So,
All right, so this brings us into our next segment, where we each talk about a card that if we were to ban one card, what would we ban? So I'll go ahead and start us off. We already talked a little bit about this card. Before the segment, I was going to say Unyielding Trunks, but I'm going to switch it now.
Now he's beefing.
Jesus.
I'm switching it,
That
and
was
I'm
straight
going to
beefing.
say Chronoa. I think if I could ban one card right now, it would be Chronoa. And this is another way to deal with silver bullets. If they're going to print these busted silver bullets just say you can't play the game, ban them eventually.
Play a card.
Because
Yeah.
you brought it out during a time when Shugesh was like extremely overpowered in the deck, right?
Can
it
you?
just like it crapped on everything. But now, like if you think of where Shugesh fits into the meta, I don't think it'd be extremely polarizing as it was before if you were to take Chronoa away. And I think that's another way. If you're not going to create these like even silver bullets, then ban them eventually.
Just ban all black cards. We don't need
You
them.
fucking racist. Fucking racist.
All right, I take that back. It's a little strong. Why won't they print more Overwhelm cards?
So does anybody want to comment on what I just said?
I was just gonna. Your beef. What I'm hearing is essentially any card that turns off a mechanic for the entire
Yeah,
game
I
with no
agree.
interactability. That's
agree.
what you would like to see banned.
Yeah,
right?
but
It's not
I'm-
so much the Shugesh. It's
Yeah.
It's yeah.
the
Just
lack of
look at it.
interaction.
Like if they're gonna print cards like that, keep track of the meta. And once those cards that you're hitting aren't that big of a deal anymore, ban the card that just killed it so that now we can play it and it's at least viable. Like I think Shugesh would be a big part of the meta. Like it would definitely
Yeah.
do some damage, but it's not gonna be Ginyu Veggies when Ginyu Veggies did what it did.
No. Plus,
No,
you can
I did.
recover from that deck now. You can recover.
considering Shenron can basically do almost the same shit as getting you veggies, just without bloodlust. It's like
I don't know.
the game's changed.
Exactly. So
I don't know. Anyone else got a card?
He changed his up. I was going to say silver bullets.
Just edit it so Alex goes first.
No, it just.
okay, I guess we can talk about unyielding then, because that was originally going to be mine.
Yeah.
I mean, with unyielding, with the new 1-drops and stuff, it puts the fear in people. That's what I think. So
I think unyielding should be a 0 combo cost. Like
who
I think
cares
that'd
about
be-
5?
I think it'd be fair.
0-0.
But we're just talking about bans. We're not talking
I
about
know, but I'm
Rajas
saying
right now.
like that card is ridiculous.
I know, like, anytime you bring up unyielding, people in comments and like every video always go, unyielding is not the problem. Unyielding is not the problem. But unyielding has always been a card. Every aggro deck has always had 4 unyieldings in their deck. Whether you go all the way back to when like red blue trunks was first a thing and you're playing the dash pack Vegito.
Yep. My first regional.
Unyielding like was insane in that deck.
So good.
Everyone's okay. I'm going to play the contrary again because everyone has been hating on unyielding roughly the same time that Storm came out. Like people were not talking about unyielding with red blue. I mean,
people didn't know of how good it was back then.
nah, I don't know. Like unyielding has been around.
I don't know because
it's the other cards interacting with it that make it
the red blue
so
Huragarn
powerful.
won like multiple
But
regionals.
people were saying ban unyielding. When Storm
Yeah.
became a thing, I feel like it became more of a talk. Me personally, I love the
Because
card.
I think Storm came in and stole the thunder there.
Yeah, but
Like,
you always go back to that, and then you go back to like when Vegeta was really strong. Like unyielding's always
Yeah.
been.
The card.
But he's
A good card.
he's a facilitator. He allows aggro decks to do what they do, and if you take that away, then the aggro decks have so little steam. Like because you need to be able to do that
So-
energy manipulation. Otherwise, you're not going to really get to your stuff until like turn 2, 3, 4. And I feel like,
That's fine.
well, I mean, if you
Well, they're
want
no
the meta
longer
to be
aggro decks
long
then.
games, but to me personally, I like there to be a counter to longer running decks to have some form of aggro, and it might not
But-
be something that's super oppressive, but I do like there to be a
See,
counterbalance.
But
where-
now what they're doing is they're printing the 1-drops and they print that new Goku, and now they're giving all the slow decks every counter to these aggro decks. So aggro decks are no longer a counter to big decks.
yeah, I know, and I have a problem with that.
I'm just saying.
At least when you hit something like unyielding, you're slowing them down. You're slowing them down, but you're not killing decks. I mean, they do lose a lot of steam.
But you're slowing so many decks down. You're slowing down Storm, Red, Blue, etc. Like to me, the way I like unyielding is like you have to think about. Some people say it's like easy mode, like SS3, but for me, it's something not like SS3 where it happens every turn. But you got to recognize if somebody's going aggro and they're tapped out, that they might be able to swing with their leader or their last person to untap that energy. And to me, it just adds more complexity to the game. I mean, I'm not gonna go die on a cross for unyielding, but to me, I
Sounds
think
like
it's
it.
fine.
Trunks, dude.
I do love Trunks.
I love
shout
Trunks.
Shout out to Trunks.
I love Trunks.
Fuck on you, Lee.
Yeah, I mean this guy.
I'm not an aggro player, so I like the games to go long. I like to drop them big bodies on them.
And
But,
what did you just say? What kind of player?
What?
He's not an aggro player.
I'm just saying, as like a better, if there is no silver bullets as a better hit, like it slows down the decks and hurts aggro a lot, but at least you're not playing a card that just says, okay, your 1 and 2 drops can attack, and then your unyielding already at that point is useless.
Yeah,
You
if
know?
I had to pick one, I would pick banning unyielding over all these silver bullets that just completely destroy
Yep.
1 and
Yeah.
2 drops for sure.
And that's why we're saying it's so much more simple just to say goodbye to unyielding.
But I still wouldn't ban unyielding if that was the
Put it
case.
to-
Fair enough. So what's your card? If you had to pick one card right now,
To be fair, I didn't know we were even doing this segment, so
We didn't either, dude.
Oh, huh?
We
Oh,
came
you
up with
didn't
it
either?
like 2 seconds before. We're like, what should we talk about? Oh, maybe this.
For me, you're gonna think this is ridiculous, and it probably, in retrospect, by the time this video comes out, will be like that was a very poor answer. But I'm gonna go with objection because I feel like right now, if we're talking about what's going on in the meta right now, Shenron decks, objection. Everyone's running 4 of. It's an easy way to ramp. To me, I wouldn't want to ban it necessarily. Hold on,
Dende.
Dende's not enough.
Dende.
Dende's not. If Dende was
Exactly, mic drop.
cost 1 and maybe 1 energy to play, then I'd say maybe. But the 2 energy to play to me is just, it costs so much. It takes your entire turn
Yeah.
to remove 1 energy. And guess what? They're just going to put another energy in the next turn.
see, I get where you're coming from that, because typically it's like you objection and then your very next turn you're like dropping like a Gogeta or something, so you're not giving your opponent that much time to utilize
Yeah,
Dende
I
properly.
agree.
it's not a good counter.
For me, if you wouldn't want to ban it, I would say if you're going to play objection, that all the energy has to be tapped afterwards, so you don't leave the one up. So it makes it a little bit more cost reward.
If it came in tap,
Yeah, that'd be good balance, I think.
Yeah,
would be a
I
lot
would
better.
like that because it makes it a little bit more risk. You don't have that one usually blue energy sitting up there so you can beam.
And I think a lot of like where Ben talking
Trying to
about
beam.
like objection is more like a meta call for this given meta. I think
yeah.
like
Well,
if
it's
you're
just-
looking at the retrospect of like objection, throughout
Objection
its
is
entire
gone-
history, no. But
No,
like in
I
this
agree.
current meta,
Yeah.
like objection is very
Yeah.
it's strong.
I mean,
very
objection
in
was
and out of style.
needed
Yeah.
back in the day, right?
Like,
Like
set
all the
two,
Beerus
objection was filthy.
win on energy 16 type of decks. Like
Yeah.
you're never going to get there without an objection
It's also
card.
just Shenron with objection. Like the
Good.
downside to objection was, oh, you lose hand size. Shenron says, I don't care.
I also want to talk. So a lot of people are saying, you know, like objection, Gogeta, like are going to be extremely strong once if Storm is just like a dead deck and like dealt with. But then you also have to think there's still decks that just go straight under and then over
Yeah.
Gogeta, like Shenron Boo. I think a lot of people downplay how good that deck is because I've been playtesting with it for
Since
a
Nats.
good, yes, ever since Nats. Like it's
Yeah.
been like my favorite deck to play with, and it just like, I mean, if you're trying to go into a
gross.
bigger drop like Gogeta, it's like I don't care because I'm just gonna kill you before you play it. You know?
He didn't kill me.
You're about to get him to stand up again, dude.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
start with me, Kurt.
Salt is flowing. I hate Gogeta.
No, I do. I
but
hate Gogeta.
That's also because I've been playing decks that are slow.
But there's
And
like
so
there's
if I
options.
played an actual competitive deck, I'd probably beat him. But
Like I said, like at Nats, like I played Super 17.
But
And everybody that played Gogeta against me lost the very
Yeah.
next turn. I just killed
I
them.
just know that like at locals, when people are playing it and it's just like auto win versus like 3/4 of the fun decks, which fun decks are usually not that great anyways, but it's just like, oh, I want the game to go long and you drop this thing that I literally can't do anything about and I just lose because you did nine critical damage to me in one turn. Like it's just kind of ridiculous.
I just hate that it has deflect.
Yeah.
I don't even
I
care
agree.
that it has
That's
barrier.
the
I don't even
thing.
care
I
about
do.
that.
Deflect
I
is
think we
annoying
can
as
all
fuck.
agree that Gogeta is a terribly designed card.
Yeah, it should not have both. It's
100%
one or
terribly
the other.
designed card.
Yeah.
It's one or
But
the
there
other.
are like if Storm goes, there are other problems that I think are bigger than Gogeta.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just, it's one of those like, if they want new players, it's one of those things that if that shit gets played on them too many times, they're like, oh, I quit. This
People said
game's
that about
stupid.
Cell since the very beginning.
True,
so.
but Cell, it's like someone can teach you to play around that. Gogeta's like, build a new deck that wins faster. That's the only answer.
unless you play Super 17, then you're not playing.
True.
I'm just always gonna plug Super 17.
Yeah, you
Forever and always.
This podcast
okay.
brought to you by Super 17.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's 17.
All right, we're out of time. We got to go play Super Smash. We're all gonna lose. I don't know. Ben might be good. I don't know. I have no idea.
Sleeper, nobody knows.
Who's your
Yeah.
characters? Who's your characters?
Kirby all the way.
I'm going with that King guy. He shoots the cannonball.
The crocodile?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
King K. Roll is
broken,
doing
man.
his-
He's just a broken character. I already know John's playstyle. I want to know
terrible.
Kurt's. I want to know Kurt's.
John just spams a little like rocket thing.
I don't play this game, so probably Kirby.
Kirby.
Yeah. I also like Roy and Lucino or Lucina, whatever her name is. They're good.
I've been DK my entire life, so DK, and I was just playtesting with playtesting.
So how does that make you feel that he doesn't know who King K. Rool is?
I know
How does
who
it make
he
me
is.
feel? I don't,
He's from the Donkey
He's
Kong games.
He's disrespecting your franchise.
He's from the Donkey Kong games. I know who he is. I've seen him.
You said King with the K.
Yeah, I don't remember what his last name is, okay?
I was a 64 guy though. I wasn't a huge fan of the GameCube and subsequent
Hey,
versions.
DK for 64.
DK
needs
64.
to be remade on the Switch. Nintendo, you're not watching, but
Yeah.
This is
need
the
to make
real
it.
thing we need to have the podcast about. The input lag. Nintendo, please. In 64, it was so crisp. And now there's just so much input
Please don't
lag.
put me in free for alls too when I'm trying to play 1v1s online.
You're gonna lose.
That's what we're doing. All right. Podcast over. Oh,
wait, what's your-
Gotta go Game and Watch. Game and Watch forever.
No. What's your favorite character? You didn't say anything.
Game and Watch.
That's what he just said. Yeah.
He's like,
Of course, it's Game and Watch.
Favorite
was a system.
starving Goku.
So everybody say hi and bye to Kurt because this will be his last podcast.
Hi, bye. Bye.
They can't get rid of me like that.
you're supposed to do a little.
All right.
I don't want to break his shit.
Open Fly Gang out.
Yeah, open flag
I
gang.
gotta fly. I got with sweatpants.
Yeah, I know you guys fucked up wearing sweatpants. Ridiculous. Yeah. Because Alex needs to go.